Hey, my narcissistic abuse family. I have a great topic. I'm talking about two basically alternative forms of a means of coping with CPTSD symptoms. It would be more considered to be a holistic sort of approach. These are unconventional ways to cope with symptoms of CPTSD. No medical. Both of these mediums are not rooted in medical treatments yet, but there is evidence to support both of them as being effective treatments. Anyway, I'm talking about binaural beats and weighted blankets. I just got a weighted blanket for Mother's Day and I can't live without it. I'm a big fan of blankets. My daughter and I always joke about it. Her name is Cozy Josie. So I love blankets, love them. But since I've gotten the weighted blanket, I can't sleep without it. So that's what I do with mine. I've heard things about it being able to fight against the fight or flight, the overactive fight or flight response. So I was like, sign me up. I will give it a whirl. I'm trying everything. So these are two alternative holistic treatments that I wanted to share with you guys today. I have some great information on each of these alternative routes of coping with CPT. So CPTSD can include anything from anxiety, nervousness. It's CPTSD, just like PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, but it's complex if having been exposed to narcissistic abuse in our cases. So it includes such a range of different afflictions, symptoms. I just realized myself as well that I have anxiety. Never realized it, but yes, I absolutely do. I started paying more attention to my breath and I realized how shallow I breathe. So that's an indication of being stressed out all the time, anxiety. Anyway, binaural beats is what I wanted to start with. So one of the things that I do for self-care is I meditate every day. And I find all these meditation videos on YouTube because YouTube is the best. And a lot of them integrate binaural beats. So I started listening to them. From what I understood superficially, binaural beats is like a way, they're different sound frequencies, tones that are able to influence your subconscious. So, being victims of narcissistic abuse, our subconscious has been programmed in toxic ways. So, binaural beats are basically sound frequencies. They are sound waves therapies, is what the proper terminology is. So, there's a slightly different frequency tone in each of your ears. That's why they say when you're listening to binaural beats, you should always have some type of stereo headphones on, pods, whatever, buds or earphones. I use the old school earphones with the strap that goes over your head. But so each ear should have a different speaker on it using headphones, so that each ear can receive a different frequency. So together, the brain perceives each separate tone as a single tone as processed through your brain. Binaural beats are not a standard form of care. The way that you measure the frequency is, say you had 200 hertz in your right ear and 210 in your left ear. The binaural beat is 10 because that's the difference between the two frequencies. There's 5 different categories of frequency patterns. Each are thought to have different benefits. There is a delta pattern where it's linked to a dreamless sleep, a very deep sleep where you are compelled into REM. So that's the delta pattern is thought to help with really sound, really solid sleep. There is a theta pattern, which is believed to improve meditation, creativity, and the theta pattern is between 4 and 7 hertz. Not that you're going to remember this, but. So then there's the alpha pattern, which is believed to promote relaxation. There's the beta pattern, which is thought to promote concentration and alertness. There is the gamma pattern, which is thought to promote maintenance of arousal while a person is awake. So the potential benefits of binaural beats include reduced stress and anxiety, increased focus, concentration, motivation. My husband's home today, so my kids are always home, but my husband's home, and my dog just got this bark box. I'm sorry, I'm so frazzled. I'm trying to maintain my focus here, but there's a lot going on in the background here. Hopefully you can't hear it. Anyway, so binaural beats, I use them basically at the same time as meditation because I am a multitasker. And from what I understand, the binaural beats, like I said, gets to your subconscious, and that's what I am trying to reprogram, which many of you undoubtedly have the same problem. We were, conditioned, programmed to believe negative thought processes. Like, it really gets ingrained in your psyche that you're bad, that you're a burden, that you can't do anything right. More benefits are long-term memory, deeper meditation, enhanced psychomotor performance. That's what I have documented here anyway. That was part of these information. Helps people with mild anxiety. There was a study at the National College of Natural Medicine in Oregon where they studied 8 people, and it was shown to decrease anxiety and increase the quality of your life. So it's a non-pharmacological treatment for anxiety. It's a cognitive behavioral therapy. I think everyone's outside. You probably heard the garage door at least. Anyway, so that was my first topic. But secondly, I wanted to talk about weighted blankets. I cannot sleep without mine anymore. Even though it's super heavy, it's kind of warm. And it's getting warmer in terms of weather over here in New Jersey. So it's getting kind of warm, but I just, my husband loves it cold. So I'm like, just make it as cold as you want. I'm using my weighted blanket tonight. So I will be safe and secure under here. But from what I understand, weighted blankets helps to shut off your body's physiological state of being in the fight or flight, which is a result of CPTSD, narcissistic abuse. Weighted blankets, they're also called anxiety blankets or gravity blankets. They previously They were known as being used in occupational therapy, a type called sensory integration therapy. You may have heard people with autism, sensory disorders. It helps them to focus in regulating sensory experiences. But there's so much research against using weighted blankets in children as a suffocating hazard. So I read a lot about the cautions of using them in children. So I'm only focusing on using a weighted blanket for myself as an adult to overcome trauma, the CPTSD, as a result of growing up in a toxic, narcissistic home. The weighted blanket offers something called deep pressure stimulation. It helps to calm an overstimulated system, as I said, the fight or flight. It offers the same pressure experienced with a warm hug or embrace, a massage, or cuddling. It can help the body switch from running the sympathetic nervous system to its parasympathetic nervous system. That was my goal when I started using it, and I absolutely see how it provides comfort. Unless you've tried it, you can't appreciate it. Like I didn't. I was very skeptical. So the blanket offers an evenly distributed gentle pressure on a large area of the body, creating a sense of calm and safety for those that feel anxious or overstimulated. Our autonomic nervous system regulates our unconscious functions like breathing, your heart rate, your blood circulation, and reflexes. So basically, it's the way our body functions every day without us having to think about it. So when we become stressed or alerted to a threat, our sympathetic nervous system registers that the danger's coming and kicks into the fight or flight response. So, but even after experiencing trauma, we are kicked into fight or flight response regardless of there being a threat that is perceived, like anything surrounding it. Like we have been conditioned to believe that we're constantly being under, we have to be hyper vigilant. We always have to be aware of our surroundings, because when you grow up in a narcissistic environment, you can never just relax. So we get in a hypervigilant state where our sympathetic nervous system operates on overdrive. You can experience things like accelerated heart rate, constricted blood vessels, pupil dilation, goosebumps, sweating, race in blood pressure, and slower digestion. That's a result of constantly being in the fight or flight where you can't relax. So we're experiencing prolonged stress and anxiety. Our sympathetic nervous system is shooting out signals to all areas of our body to alert us that we are in danger and we need to fight or flee. But we're not, because we're just going through our daily lives. This is something that has been erroneously switched on within us because of the trauma we have endured. Regardless of the fact that we are not presented with imminent danger, our body receives all of these signals and tries to regulate itself by feeling overwhelmed, overloaded, overstimulated. Can cause us to experience anxiety, and some people have panic attacks as well. So weighted blankets, which are awesome, they use pressure stimulation, offers our body a chance to switch from being in fight or flight of our sympathetic nervous system to a rest and digest mode that's regulated by our parasympathetic nervous system. When the body gets into that state is when we feel like we don't need to be on guard anymore, we're safe and secure. So the parasympathetic nervous system has a chance to kick in, enabling our body to be calm, to regulate itself, and to find a balance. So the way that the weighted blanket works is that, so the way that they're designed, they're often sewn into little mini squares like a quilt, and that design is to enable that each square has the same amount of weight in it, the weighted material, so it maintains the even distribution. A lot of them are filled with small plastic pellets. A lot of them, bark box, sorry, I told you it's mayhem here today. So then there's glass beads. Stop it! The weight of the blanket is evenly distributed. That's why it's designed with a pattern of squares. Weighted blankets are commonly available in weight ranges from 5 to 25 pounds. The way that you find the proper weight for you is dependent upon your weight. So you take your weight, 10% of it, and add 3 pounds. So if you weigh 170 pounds, you would take 10%, which is 17, and add 3, so that's 20 pounds. 10% of your body weight plus 3 pounds is the weight of the weighted blanket that is appropriate for you. It's based off of your age, your size, your body weight. So that's an easy method for just a general based off of your weight. They're not to be used if you have certain risks like unregulated blood pressure, fragile skin, diabetes, circulation problems, apnea, asthma, but they are meant to offer that distributed pressure, which brings a calming effect and signaling the body that it's safe. We're able to go from being in an overstimulated sympathetic nervous system to switching on the parasympathetic nervous system, allowing our body to relax, rest, and digest, like I said. I don't know if you can hear all this. So, weighted blankets also offer more restful sleep, and I can absolutely attest to that. They also have something called weighted lap pads now for people that have desk jobs that are high stress, and that is definitely something to look into for that. I get it. I was saying to my husband the other night when we were watching TV, like, I get it. Like, there's something to having, like, that pressure, that security. We both often put, like, pillows on our laps, which makes no sense. Like, why would you want a pillow on your lap? But it's the weight of it that provides us with the comfort and security, like a weighted blanket. I absolutely love my weighted blanket. I tried to sleep without it the other night with just a regular blanket, and I quickly realized I was not going to fall asleep without my fabulous weighted blanket. So it's also called the anxiety blanket. It helps our overstimulated sympathetic nervous system to get out of the fight or flight response by switching in the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system. That's the information that I have to present about binaural beats and weighted blankets. I have other modalities to talk about, but I'll make them in other videos. See, this is like 20 minutes already. Sorry, I'm so distracted today. This is so challenging given the circumstances. I need a weighted blanket right now. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope I provided you with something that will help you on your healing journey to overcome narcissistic abuse. Please like, please subscribe. That would be wonderful. I love you all. I will be back with another video soon. See you soon. We're bumped and we're bruised, but more than anything, we're blessed.